Thank you. We'll call the May 8th, 2024 meeting of the Greater Board of Public Works and Safety to order at 5:30 PM. Roll call, please, Amanda.
Mr. Rutherford.
Here.
Mr. Hoover.
Here.
Mr. Coleman.
Here.
Thank you.
Minutes of our last meeting of April 15, 2024 have been distributed to members of the board. Any corrections, additions, or deletions from staff? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval as presented?
So moved. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. First on our agenda tonight is Vicky Pointer, 4912 Olive Branch Road. Vicky, are you here? Either in person or online? Amanda, do you? Can you tell if she's on?
She is.
Or anybody here to talk about 4912 Olive Branch Road?
I could maybe
Mark, do you want to help?
cover it. Yeah, this is just a single parcel sewer service agreement for this address. We're looking to connect the residential property to our sanitary sewer. We have a special sanitary sewer service agreement dated May 4th, 2023. And they're asking for an extension of 1 year to May 1st, 2025 to allow for the connection of the residential property located at this address with the connection. They've had some personal matters and they've not yet been able to complete on the
You're okay with that, correct?
Yes. I move for approval. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next on our agenda is Mr. Davis, 1144 Crescent Drive. Good evening, Mr. Davis. Good to see you again. Mr. Davis is here on a waiver request for utility towing trailer. It's Crescent Drive. Last year, we told you there were still some issues that were being addressed by the city. Is your trailer still there?
Yes, sir.
Same situation? Okay. Well, we have learned that this is not something that's waivable because it's a state law. It's not really it's a state law that you can't have it over a sidewalk. And the waiver issue that you'd applied for was because the length of the trailer, the tongue was sticking out. It was like, what, 21 feet instead of 18 feet, I think was the amount. So, Mr. Hodson, you want to jump in? Was there anything else that you knew? I want to make sure I'm consistent with.
It's consistent, and because it's a state law, it's not have to be enforced by the police, not by code enforcement. So it's not for you.
Okay. And so, Mr. Davis, have you received a warning that says you're going to get fined for anything?
Man, I don't, I mean, I'm sorry, man, I just, on Tuesday, I had a motorcycle accident last Tuesday, so, I did get something in the mail about it, you know what I mean, prior to actually coming here, so.
Okay. Now, noticed your bandage. I hope you're okay. This is something, if there is any fines that have been.
I believe it's just at the warning stage.
Okay, so
Not
there
received.
wouldn't be proposing
No,
anything.
yeah, if anybody did anything, they have them in either county court or city court.
And
depending on
is
the
there
rules.
any time issue to get it fixed is really not an issue for us, is it?
Right.
Okay. So I think that's, we're not going to grant your waiver request, we can't grant your waiver request. Guess you're subject to whatever anybody else wants to try and enforce it. Sorry about that.
So, just, describe it to you.
Well, it's a state law that you can't have any obstruction over the sidewalk. And I wasn't aware of that when you were here last night. So it wouldn't be this board that would be enforcing that state law, it'd be a police matter. I suppose the police might knock on your door sometime, but who knows when that might happen.
Probably all depending on if somebody complains in the neighborhood.
Basically be a fine or something. You're not the only one in that neighborhood is blocking, you know. I walk through there, I live real close there.
So just maybe wait till they actually,
That's what I would do. Okay?
I'm not sure we can tell you that.
You-
Avoid state law, but,
You might, you know, be looking for someplace to put it, or someplace else, you know, make some other arrangements.
appreciate it.
okay.
Okay, all right.
Get well
Hope you
soon.
get well.
Yep, thanks.
So are you going to officially deny it or just consider it withdrawn?
Well, I think we can't really rule upon it because it's not something that we can, so
The consensus would be that it's just
we
withdrawn,
just withdraw. It's a moot issue.
just so I can mark the
Yeah, I
record
understand.
correctly.
And I know. John just left. Next is Brock Avery at Harvey Construction for Sage Fire.
Present. Hello,
Hello, we can barely hear you.
is that any better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, thank you.
Tell us what we're doing.
I am here to present proposed road closure in two phases. One, it's in regards to the Sagebriar by Pulte Homes subdivision on 5 Points Road. We're proposing a 1-week closure starting June the 15th for sanitary sewer, water main, and storm sewer crossings. And another 10 calendar days proposed on August the 5th for EMB paving to do the road improvements.
So the June 15th is just a 1-day closing,
1 week,
1 week.
seven calendar days for the June 15th, and then 10 calendar days for the August the 5th. We would like to keep the road open with EMB. We met with them after talking to, I believe, Paul and Jeff regarding how to do this. So EMB had some safety concerns after I met with Paul and Jeff and talked to them, and they felt like it was not that it was impossible to keep the road open, but they had some grade issues and safety concerns and lane widths and really felt that it should be closed. They could speak in a little more detail on it than I can, but I just am presenting for both parties.
And Brock, this is right across from the entrance into the project?
Correct. They're staggered in different areas. I think there are 2 storm crossings. The water and sanitary have a separation of a bit, but not a great deal. Yes, it's all in that general area. And then the road improvements are a lot further of a length that are on both sides, and it's being milled and overlaid and some shoulders, et cetera. And I think it would be better for everybody if they could close it for the road improvements. Just appreciate your consideration. I'll answer any questions you have.
Don't recall a lot of residential development in that area.
There's not, there's
There's a
2,
couple houses just to the north.
and there's 2 homes on the west side of the street from them
Yeah.
that, I don't think it'll be an issue during the storm sewer, sanitary sewer. The utility crossings, they might just have to go south instead of being able to go north. It'll be a little more complicated when they reconstruct the roadway. They'll have to maintain access for those folks, and it'll be possible, and we'll just want to make sure that they've done that and coordinate that with us.
So the access street to the south is Main Street and the north is
County
County
Line
Line.
Road, yes.
How deep is the crossing?
The sanitary sewer is 12 to 15 feet deep. The water main's probably 7 or 8 feet deep. I'm not quite sure about the storm crossing, probably less than sanitary sewer. Right.
City Common, that's pretty deep.
Mark, would this be a one where we might want to consider a per diem?
Yeah, I would recommend like liquidated damages. They don't have the road open in the time frame. I wouldn't commit them to the dates. It's nice to have the dates. I wouldn't say you have to close it on the 15th. I would say more, you have 7 days to do this work, coordinate closure with the city engineer, and then 10 days to do the road work, coordinate the closure with the city engineer. And then maybe $500 a day in damages if they don't have the road open from when they close it.
Brock, did you hear that?
Yes, that's very much appreciated. Seems fair. That's no problem at all regarding the damages. I think that's what we attached to the previous closure we're getting ready to do for Combs. So yes, that sounds great.
Is there a motion who would like to make on this? Yeah, that's a good point. There's a lot of people here in the audience. Is anybody who'd like to address this matter from the audience? No.
I would make the motion that we grant the request to close the road for 7 days in, 7 days for the
Utility work.
and 10 days for the road reconstruction, subject to any delay beyond the 7 or the 10-day period would be assessed a $500 a day penalty.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Brock. Have a good evening.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Next, let's go to Greg Venter, Lennar Homes.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. What are we doing here tonight?
We are here for the acceptance of maintenance bonds and plat signing.
You're being asked to accept the improvements and the maintenance guarantees, correct?
Yes.
Any performance guarantees?
Yes.
Questions for Greg? Mark, your office is has an unconditional
That's correct, yes.
recommendation.
I'd move to approve.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
You too. Next we'll go upon Kyle Gray, Greenwood New Barton Medical Office Building. Mr. Gray, you with us? We're not yet, there you go. Kyle, are you with us?
No.
No? Mark, is this something you can handle?
Yes, I can. This is a development on 31 and Greenwood Trace, I believe, just south of here. We're asking the board to acknowledge completion of the improvements, which include dirt work, storm sewer, erosion control, and sanitary sewer, as well as street and sidewalks, to accept the maintenance guarantees for the street and sidewalk improvements in the public right of way, to release the performance guarantees we have on file for this development.
Questions for Mark?
I move that we approve the request. Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Mark. Next, we're going to talk to Kristen Robertson, Casey's General Store, secondary plat issues.
Hello, this is Kristen Robertson with Farnsworth Group. Can you hear me okay?
Good afternoon. Tell us what we're
Hello.
doing here.
We are proposing to accept the improvements for the Casey's General Store and release a performance guarantee.
Again, we've got a memo from Paul Pinoni in front of us. And Mark, it looks like again, this is an unconditional approval.
That's correct.
Fourth. Questions for Kristen or for Mark?
I move that we approve the request.
Where is this located?
Graham Road and
Graham County line.
line.
Just east of the interstate.
Did you make a motion?
I made a motion to
I'll
approve.
second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Heck. how are you? I'm gonna revisit Ridge Top.
Revisit it, just for one stormwater waiver that we still need. We did drop the waiver request for the 2 year, or for the 2-foot freeboard. We was able to get that revised, but we still need the waiver for the offsite flow. But we did revise the site layout to remove the deeper swell in those 3 south lots, shift the storm over. It did correct that. We worked through with engineer to correct that.
Mark, your assessment of that?
Yes, so as Mr. Heck said, they kind of redesigned the site a little bit, as we kind of suggested, maybe shift that swale west of the common area. They're able to do that somewhat, at least get the deepest part of the swale over into the common area. They also enclosed part of that swale to make it less deep and give those people more of a backyard. So the depth, maximum depth of the swale in those backyards is now about 3 feet, and closer to 30 feet away from the back of the building pads. We'll still have the 4 cubic feet of flow in it, especially as you get downstream to where it goes into that culvert. So that's what the waiver here is for tonight, but we're generally supportive of it. I know Stormwater has an additional recommendation tonight. They would request that we also put a no fence easement in this area. That would be placed on the secondary plat before recording of this subdivision. It's just carrying a lot of upstream water from the property to the south. And you don't want to have to, it makes it easier to not even let people have an encroachment on it when it clearly says no fence easement. So it'd be no fences on these three lots, lots 20 to 22.
Yeah, we talked the owner on those 3 lots. Adding that.
So is there a motion to approve the waiver request with the additional condition that there be a no fence condition put on the secondary plat?
So moved.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Joe, thank you for your clients for taking that opportunity to
Yep.
redo it.
Thank you.
So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I'll just give you some extra time.
Okay.
And John, I'll give this back to you, let you put in
The no fence easement.
Maybe you're another hour.
So the board knows too, Projects Plus and Pulte were able to supply the criteria that were missing on the previous waivers, so attach them to those other 3 waivers and file them away.
Great. Anyone from the audience wish to address us?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
We'll take these folks back here first, and we'll come to you. Please tell us what's your name and your address and what we're asking for.
Hey, my name is Varun and I live at 645 Fireside Drive, Greenwood, Indiana. And we were having a wedding party on the 17th for my sister, and I was looking for a permission for tents and also DJ in the background.
Understanding is that the event is from 6 to midnight.
Yes.
Okay. Our normal time limit for music or amplified music would end at 10 o'clock. Tell us about, where's this? See, you're kind of in the middle of the neighborhood, huh?
Yes, sir.
What's behind
in our
you?
backyard, there's those are just like big houses, and there's this fence, and we are inviting our neighbors with our house, pretty much like 3-4 houses, like right next to us.
Okay.
There's nothing behind you,
Not
No,
directly.
not directly.
Ty, have anything you want to add?
No, I'm not sure about that. It's that they're inviting folks, their neighbors, when I asked them about if it is approved, making sure they alert everyone. So I think this is, even though it's a wedding or stuff, it's looking like a neighborhood event.
Questions? for anybody here?
I guess one way to get her, if you don't want your sister to get married, is deny it request. This is your last chance out of it. I would move that we approve the request.
For the full time until midnight.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay, thank you. And you can work with Ty.
Yeah, I will be alerting, IMPD Greenwich Fire, after this meeting, just to let them know of the event.
Where's this?
That's right. I used to work in IT. Police departments.
That's a big party. Okay, thank you. And somebody else wants to talk to us. Good evening.
I'm here because, I'm with Eden Homes, if you're familiar with that area over there, my Smith family. It's, on May, I'm sorry, just I didn't notice, May 18th, we wanted to do, like a kind of appreciation for the community that we live in, and we've also invited the police and fire departments too, for a chili cook-off. And we were wanting permission to block off just part of one of the streets. It's Paradise, it's like a horseshoe, it's kind of at the top there, that we wanted to block it off, so.
And the timing of this would be,
Yeah, it's from 10 to 2, that's set up and closed, it'll all be done by 2, we're set up at 10. It's just right through lunch.
2 p.m.
2 p.m., yes.
The application says 2 a.m. I was getting a little nervous there.
No.
Quite the chili cook-off.
Questions for her?
Did you notify, all the neighbors are?
Yes, yeah, our whole community's aware, but there's, like, there's 76 units in that whole area there, they're condos, and, yeah, so they're all aware of it.
The main thing would be the police, fire, they need to be notified,
Yes, they
especially
did
the
know.
fire.
Yes.
And Jason Drabel's been.
Yes,
involved.
Jason has already, Officer Grable's already looked at this. It's gonna be a small enclosure with just barricades, so it's not gonna require a police presence other than eating chili. It's also not a through street, so we shouldn't have any worries about people thinking they're gonna cut through somewhere and hit a roadblock.
I move for approval.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Okay. Have fun.
Thanks.
Anyone else in the audience wish to address us? I think we've got some walk-ons, Sam. Are we gonna do that?
Yeah.
My name is Shirley Tweedy. I'm speaking for Eddie Cross because he can't hardly hear. But the house is at 1 South Middle Street. And it's in the Lakeview Edition, and it's in regard to RV fifth wheel camper that is parked in the driveway. And we did not know the code at the time, but anyway, they came and told us, and our driveway is from the back of the camper where the garage is. Out to the curb is 63 feet. From the back of the camper to not the new wing that they put in and all the section there, it's still on the old, is 52 feet altogether. But what we're wanting to know is the corner of the house to the driveway is 34 feet approximately. So we're wanting to know what we can do in order to try to keep our camper back there. There has been a camper of this size back there for 20 years. We have upgraded since then and got a 2020. And so we're just wondering if, and I was also told advice to print pictures, which I did, so you could look at them, that we're not blocking the street or neighbors at all. They have no problem with us.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing those, seeing the
Okay.
pictures. Who did you get a notice from? The city?
Yeah, Bruce Campbell.
Is that it?
Yes, I think there's.
Well,
That's why.
And it's on pavement, correct?
Yes, it is. Still back. But you can see the traffic going through it. We're not blocking anything.
No sightline issues or anything like that?
No, no.
So it's just a question of it being too long?
Yes. Yes. And is he grandfathered in?
Was the old two unit the same size?
Well, yes, approximately the same size.
They're both.
We got some neighbors that don't see that.
Here's the lot.
There it is.
It's just too long.
This is huge. This is, yeah, this is the same one. This is, shows trees.
You don't have sidewalks out there, so you're not to.
No, we
No,
don't have
walking
sidewalk.
sidewalk.
We have-
back.
We just have a nice new wing out there.
And you're on the corner lot.
Yes, we're on the
Okay.
corner lot. Those pictures I took them from the corner, Middle and Broadway.
Anybody from the city here to talk about this? I saw John Lott earlier.
May need to ask her to file for the waiver to come back to the next.
That's what
meeting.
I'm thinking.
I can submit the form to them.
Yeah, just so we keep in the right process. She can send you a form, officially ask for a waiver of the violation issue. And then it will come back before us and we can formally give you a response. Okay? Not guaranteeing it's gonna be
No, I know
granted, but
that.
at least we know where it's at,
Yeah.
rather than just giving. So we can have somebody from the city here to talk about it.
That would be great. Now, we were told we had to move it to 29th, so we moved it off of the property. And can we bring it back until that waiver is, or are we allowed to?
That's a good question. Mr. Hudson, do you have a take on that? They moved it off the property.
It's at a storage, it's $100 a month. I want to move it back if I can.
It's that ordinance, the ordinance that you were written for wasn't based on the location of trailers, just we have a prohibition against trailers over 29.
The length.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna suggest to the board that we allow to come back and how soon can you have her, or can you get her
And
contact?
she gives me her
information?
phone number and email. I'll send it to her before I leave today.
And
We
then
can just try to get it in the next meeting.
maybe we get the next meeting, it could be in
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
10 days.
And 10 days on Monday.
okay, that would be great.
So if you wanna try to move it back, that's up to you, because you might get it. Move it out again.
Well-
That's,
Yeah, but that's all right too. We just appreciate your time.
That's what we'll do. We'll kind of table this until the next meeting, which will be 10 days. Okay, thank you.
so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Phone number and email address.
Does anyone else from the audience wish to address us? Okay. Mr. Watson, move on to you.
I think I have one walk-on and then one item for Lisa Best. Is that your understanding?
We have the Walker Plaza.
Yeah, the walk-on is for an easement agreement with the Walker Plaza folks. We are putting sidewalks on Market Street. If we did it in our existing easement, it would block all the parking spaces to Napa, and we made an arrangement with the Walkers. We agreed to incur the expense of making the sidewalk curves so they have parking spaces, but they needed to give us an easement on the land to make that possible.
And so you presented us with the proposed easement agreement.
There were a couple typographical errors that Dustin is going to correct, and he would give us those until we approve it, but you'll get the corrected agreement signed by the Walkers.
any problems with this, gentlemen? I'll move that we approve the agreement to be amended to correct those typos, condition upon. Further discussion? So is that what we
Yes.
anticipating? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up is a contract with Ecologic, and this is for repairs to the bioswales on Main Street. And the bioswales are those attractive holes next to the sidewalk with exotic wet plants in them.
I wonder what those are.
I move that we approve the contract.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up is a contract for services for certified lawn care for 2024, and these are for grassy areas that the city doesn't maintain.
What would those be? Is that boulevards?
They're weird places that's hard to get equipment in and out, and it's less expensive to do with a private contractor.
I move for approval. Second.
Further discussion? Who's doing that? Them?
Yeah.
Okay. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Lisa Best requested an amendment to job description because she wants to make the position appealing to college students seeking interns in the human resources field.
So this is a new position, correct?
Correct.
An intern.
I move for approval.
Second that. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next up are Pierre's contracts, and I think you can consider these together because there'd be no reason to adopt one if we're not adopting all three. And this allows Pierre to represent us for our health insurance issues.
Okay, this is with some McGriff stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Questions for Sam on that?
I'll move for approval. I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
My final item is outdoor lighting agreement. And this was with Johnson County RMC. This is for Grand Vista Section 1, and this is a development near Collins Road.
Good work.
Collins Road.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And nothing else. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Mr. St. John.
Yeah, the first item I have before you tonight is our easement encroachment docket. We have 5 easement encroachments before you tonight. They're all fences. One's a little bit additional than fences. The first 4 are fences, and we recommend approval with some conditions on all of them. We can discuss them in more detail if you'd like to. That's 1406 Hamilton Drive, 1356 West Smith Valley Road, 161 North Brewer Street, and 1358 Townsend Drive. The last one is 378 Leo Lane. It's a little bit in addition to a fence. There's a fence, a concrete pad, part of the driveway, and the property owner, Mr. Roth, would like to put a mini barn on top of that concrete pad. It's actually why he poured the mini pad to start with. It's the one up on your screen right now. When he originally poured the pad back in 2018, 2019, he did come to Community Development Services. He talked to a planner. They didn't think to look at the encroachment into the drainage utility easement. They said your fence is okay, the pad is okay, the barn will be fine that you're proposing in accordance with their zoning standards. Now he's come back and he's like to do the barn, and we've caught it. And so stormwater and engineering are recommending denial on that. It's one thing to tear out a fence and a concrete pad if we have to do work in that drainage swale, and there is a storm sewer line in that drainage swale. It's another thing if there's a mini barn we have to work around. Mr. Rupp is here tonight. If you'd like to add anything that I may have missed, I just wanted to give you the full story on where we're at. It is kind of a unique situation.
Good evening. Good evening. What Mark says, is all that true?
Yeah, it's a drug out project that turned into over a project that I thought coming. They thought everything was okay the way it was planned and being done. In 19, in the spring, I built the fence and they came out and checked that. Then a concrete shortage happened that year. And my August slab work turned in the last week of November. And then I'm a truck driver, I was hot into the holiday trucking. And I get it in the spring, well, COVID happened. And it's like one thing after another. Then the end of 22, COVID was over basically with that part, and I was gonna do it then, and I went down to talk to the gentleman. And found out that how I originally constructed the driveway, I could have had it all the way out the curb the way it is in the picture now, the new concrete, but I had it cut short of the sidewalk, like a typical third car driveway on an angle. And it wasn't working too well for me there like that, but they said I could do that, so I stopped thinking about the mini barn thing, and got that done. Burn up a little bit of money there, and now things are a little slow in trucking, I'm like, I'm gonna get this mini barn done now, I got time. Well, then I find out in 2020 that ordinances and codes, I don't know how to word that, but things changed in 2020. So somehow it got missed, or I don't know how to state it, but they thought the fence was okay where it was in the slab, but now apparently it is in the easement. I think I have to talk to Mr. St. John before the meeting to get clear on this.
It's always been an easement. I think when the planner reviewed it 5 years ago, they just weren't thinking about drainage until easements. They were thinking about visuals of building setbacks.
Would you mind going up to this picture right here, pointing to where the slab is? I want to make sure.
It's just on the south side of the truck.
It is hard to see. The slab is this whole gray area. This is a new concrete in 2019.
So you put the mini barn right there, right?
Where this truck is on the left,
Uh-huh.
if you look close, you see a little outline in the concrete. I got a raised slab there for the mini barn. But apron like a garage door would be cut out that little 1.5 inch lower. I got it all prepped that way. And it's 8'7" wide and 22 feet 7 long. Back then it had to be 8 feet from the house at least 9 foot back. And I had it all fitting that way, but everything changed, but apparently it got overlooked at this easement. So none of that would have worked at the easement then anyhow.
Mr. Rock does have his approvals from planning and the Board of Zoning Appeals for construction of that big barn, as long as he resolves this encroachment issue.
But it's gonna be built on the, you're gonna build it on the pad.
Yes, Mr. St. John was concerned about the moving of the mini barn if there's a drainage issue with work needing done. I explained to him my thoughts. I framed houses for almost 30 years. I said I could pop that off the anchors and slide the mini barn over. My concern is the concrete fence in the way. You know, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Still there.
It kind of shocked me. I got a letter to the email today and I didn't realize that I was that problem. I knew there was encroachment that we're doing here, but I didn't realize. how
You're in
bad.
Oldfield, right?
Oldfield Estates.
So where is the,
That is the, excuse me.
where's the barn, mini barn gonna go on
Where
the
the
driveway?
truck on your left
Where the
is
two
sitting.
cars are?
Yeah, right where the one on the left is. That truck is taking up pretty much the whole mini barn area. The one that's closest to the fence.
And what kind of fence is it?
And, excuse
Is
me.
it chain link fence?
No, that is do you have a picture?
I don't, it's a 8-foot wood privacy fence. And he's probably 2 or 3 feet into the 10-foot easement, so it's not like he's all the way into the easement either.
You know, if we grant this request, you would be required to foot the bill for moving that.
Or get it moved.
Or move it
That's
yourself.
my question. What kind of notice if something is coming with drainage? You guys, unless it's an emergency.
They give you about 30 minutes.
And if you got a cell phone out in the truck, we'll catch it. No, I mean.
I am concerned with it now, because I the concrete, I explained to him, I built that fence and I had to hit slope. And I filled, inside the fence, I poured approximately, I don't remember the measurements now, 18-inch tall, 8 inches thick, concrete retaining wall. Not trenched in, just right on top of the dirt. To hold the P-fill from pushing on the fence. To make it stiffer, and then poured the slab over and locked it together with little pegs of rebar. But that's where I'm concerned of having to move that concrete over. Because when I take that retaining, then the pea gravel runs out, I end up in a whole big mess.
Well, there's nothing we can do about that. It's
No,
done
no.
now, so, and I guess we told him,
You're in for a motion.
yes.
Okay. I'm gonna move that we approve the docket as presented. We'll take his separate.
Mhm.
So
So the first
So
four.
the first four, I move that we approve all those.
And I'll second. Further discussion on those four? Should have said, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Then I will also grant the waiver request at 378 Leah Way with the requirement that if we need to get in there, you know, you need to move the barn. And then if any of the concrete needs to come out, you know, be at your expense.
Yes, it's a dilemma, but that's either way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there and it's either way.
I feel for you, you were told something
I understand
different by the
there's
city,
nobody
so.
current with the city that it wasn't clear with.
thank you for saying that.
Well, it's bothering me, but
I'll second his motion.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
it's okay.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Here you go.
Yep, you sure are.
Thank you, Mr. St. John.
Thank you. I'll make people stay and enjoy the rest of the public meeting. The next item I have for you is Cutsinger Road reconstruction project. The first one is an administrative settlement for parcel 9.
And let me stop you. Were you folks here for the things we just?
Yeah, the
fences?
fence for 1356.
Okay, sorry to do a kind of anticlimactic, but our staff has taken care of it, looked at it, and recommended approval, so we've done it, so.
Okay. Thanks for sitting through our meeting though.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Cutsinger Road parcel 9, we've reached an administrative settlement with the property owner. It's owned by an investment firm. They wanted an additional $6,000 to cover what they saw as setback damages, which would make the total administrative cost for the parcel $14,000.
I'm sorry, was that parcel 9?
Parcel 9, yes.
We about run out of those parcels.
We have about run out of parcels. There's this one will have to go to purchasing, still have the administrative settlements approved. We have 2 more that we're approving payment on tonight. There's one parcel we need a donation on, and there's one that has gone to condemnation.
Move that we approve the request.
For parcel 9,
For parcel 9.
second that, further discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
The next one, as I alluded to, is parcel 20, and maybe we do parcel 20 and 21 together. It's the same thing. It's acquisition of right of way, just on different parcels. Parcel 20 is owned by Kevin Allen Collins. We've come to an agreement for a price of $56,784 for 0.176 acres of permanent right of way. We're asking that you authorize that payment and accept the permanent right of way once the payment is made.
I'll move we approve parcel 20 request matter.
Well, and you want, yeah, I guess I should have kept going on 21, which is a different parcel owned by Nathan W. Marks.
The 14.5.
Yes, for 0.023 acres of permanent right of way.
I'll make those motions.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And the last item I have is a operations and maintenance manual for water quality. It's for the Arlington Farms apartment development by Denton Floyd off of Holmes Road, County Line Road. They've revised the operations and maintenance manual. They've changed one of their water quality units. And so we're just asking you to authorize the update.
Move for approval.
Second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Anything else, Mark?
That is all.
Mr. Wright?
Nothing for me.
Thank you. Mr. Russell?
I move for approval of the claims as presented.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Anything else from the cause? We'll stand adjourned at 6:15 p.m.